David McIntyre, Kelly McIntyre, myself, would oftentimes marvel at the fact that the Chester River was so beautiful and tranquil, and that one of the things that it was missing was a good dinner boat. And it was important to everyone involved that we find the right boat. It was right after Hurricane Sandy, and there was a glut of vessels available on the marketplace because of the hurricane damage. And I went up and down the eastern seaboard looking at wannabe stern wheelers and steamboats and things that looked like they all belonged in New Orleans and not on the Chester River. And every time I'd come back with the photos of what I had investigated, David McIntyre would give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down as he was getting later in life. And with his passing, we sort of stopped the search and then picked it up again and found the river packet, which was down in Kiowa Island. And it just struck us as being the right boat because it's built to mimic Great Gatsby era on Long Island. These were like rum runners or more New York commuters, and people from Long Island would have a way to get into Manhattan. And this company that built this boat, Scorano Brothers, boat builders, pride themselves on building that type of boats. It's got a trumpy bow, a trumpy wheelhouse. It looks like a trumpy, but it's not. And I had the pleasure of having Mrs. Trumpy on board here. She lives over in Annapolis with her husband, one of the last of the Trumpies. And when she came on board, she asked me, about the history of the boat, and I told her that, not knowing she was a Trumpy, and said, the bow and the wheelhouse are reminiscent of that era when beautiful boats were built like Trumpies. And she said, well, I have to confide in you, I'm a Trumpy, and you couldn't be more correct. This is not a Trumpy, but it's a wannabe Trumpy. So she took her husband, I gave her a hat from the wannabe Trumpy boat in Chestertown back to Annapolis, and they were very nice to send me some history on Trumpies. But I think we succeeded in finding the right boat for the right town. It fits in. It doesn't look like it belongs in New Orleans or something. And when we arrived, I put the word out that we needed to. That I needed to bring a 65-foot boat up from Kiowa Island, South Carolina, in the late October 2013. And I needed some volunteers and a small band of characters all joined together and decided it was in their best interest to help me bring this boat up the intercoastal waterway. I had put the word out that we had no bunks, no showers, a fully stocked bar, and catered by Occasions Catering. And if you don't mind, I'll tell you who it was. It was Tom Stevenson, Mike Taylor, Doug Goodall, Emmett Duke, Bill Walmsley, myself, and another character named Tom Armbruster. And we were supposed to rotate cars. Two would drive down and two would get off and take the car back, and the other two would stay with the boat till the next stop. And we ended up with like 8 cars left behind because no one would get off. As soon as we picked up the next pair, they would leave their car there, and the guys that were on didn't want to get off, and they were calling their wives. And before, it took us 9 days to get back to Chestertown with everybody that we started with. And the boat it was almost as though it knew where it was going and it wanted to be here. And every day in the end of October, it was warmer and more sunny the further north we got. And we passed hundreds of boats heading south for the winter, and every one of the bridges that we had to go under, the bridge tender would say, you're heading northbound. Are you mistaken? But we found our way here, and the boat was immediately became part of the community. The county, Bernadette Bowman, just couldn't have done enough when the boat arrived to make us part of the attraction here in Chestertown. They advertised the boat for us. They took our interest to the county and got us permission through Marty Holden to access the public landing at the foot of High Street. During COVID, Jamie Williams, who's the new, or not new, she's been there since before COVID. She took over for Bernadette Bowman, but she made sure that we were aware of anything that the county or the state had available for restaurants or boats or anything that was possibly available in the way of grants and money. And they got us through the COVID downturn. The county made all those. I mean, it was incredible how much support we got from them. And during COVID, we decided we would make the boat available for the exclusive use of the charter person. You could charter the boat for a minimum of 10 tickets. You could bring 2 people or as many as 10, or if you wanted to buy more tickets, you could. But you had the exclusive use of the vessel, and 7 days a week, anytime during the day, and we would have a bartender and food provided. Stephanie Summers was she's our chief steward. She was in for a penny and in for a pound during the entire life of this thing. And we still are. We've carried well over 60,000 people on that boat since we arrived here. This is the end of our 12th season, and we're bringing people from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, of course, Wilmington and Delaware, and we get a lot of folks from down south that come up. But it's the Chester River is unique. Once you go past the country club, you actually drive back in time. It's amazing the number of people that we have. We never thought that the boat would be received as well as it is, and we got the support from the town. Bill Ingersoll was involved way back when and said, I don't know how this is going to work out for you, but you have our support. And over at the marina, if there was an issue where we couldn't get back to McIntyre's house for some reason, they'd provide us with some slippage over there if we needed it. And the county also. There's some hard, fast rules about the use of the public landings, and they continue to sort of bend them a little bit for us because we are not offensive. And we're looking to, like I said some time ago, that we're all in the 4th quarter. And we've been doing this 12 years, and we'd like to see it continue to operate just as it is now. And we've got to find someone or some group that would like to pick up the baton and pass and continue this operation here in Chestertown, because I think Chestertown deserves it. And with the metamorphosis that's happening in Chestertown, with the renovation of the buildings and such, it'd be a shame to have something other than a river packet type boat operating from the foot of High Street. And we would stay with Kelly, and I would stay with the operation for some time just to assure ourselves that the boat's in good hands. And I have to say, it's the bilges on that boat. This boat was built in 1990. It's been in Albany, New York. It was on the Great Lakes. It's been down to Key West, Florida. It's worked its way back up the eastern seaboard. It was based in South Carolina, and now we have it here in Chestertown. And the only thing in the bilges on that boat is dust. It is dry as the floor in your office here. That's how tight it is. You know, that's our intention, is to however long it takes to find someone to pass the baton to, and you know, we'll train whoever comes along or is put to the task of running the boat. My license is still good for several more years. We just had the boat inspected by the Coast Guard. We're required to do it every 5 years. It was done last year, so it's got 4 more years before it has to be checked again, and it's got no issues whatsoever. We have contracts already for 2026, and we have we'll have a full schedule next year, and it's going to be business as usual, but we're just hope that we can continue and find someone to pick up the baton here.